Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Bridget, also known as Fly Girl Crochet, and I'm going to be going over 4 new stitches. These stitches is the single crochet, the half double crochet, and treble crochet. The first video went over the basics on how to create a foundation, how to do a slip knot, slip stitch, and do a chain to start the foundation of what we're about to do today. So just to give you an idea of what I'm going to be doing with my channel, you're going to see me on some of my videos. It's just today I'm just trying to get this out, and I'm looking out to this wonderful view that I have today. So, and I just want to look out, and plus I'm not dressed fully right now. So to get on, and also I'm working on a crochet project, so I want to get this done and then finish up this project, which I'll be posting on my Facebook and Instagram later today. It's a 2-piece pants mesh set, and I'm excited to be able to show that today. And I have a whole ensemble of completed work, half completed work, that I'm going to be slowly putting on Fly Girl Crochet, also on my personal page as well. And so the concept of what I'm trying to do on my page is I'm going to be showing different stitches, and then also combination. And then once you get down packed on how to do these different stitches, I'm going to show you the combination of the stitches on what they will create, the designs they will create. So say for instance, we'll do a half double crochet with a single crochet with a half double crochet, double crochet, maybe 2 double crochets, back down to the half double crochet. It may make a heart of some sort, or the pineapple stitch, it looks like a pineapple, or the mesh stitch. So all these is going to actually, these are the foundation stitches that you need to know before you can carry on to be able to do the other combinations of stitches. And then you can, go on and run, and hopefully you still, I have about maybe, I have a lot of stitch combinations to go over, and, then you can run wild with it and make your own designs and things like that. So to get back onto this video, I'm going to, now just to give you an idea, I have 3, now I have because I travel a lot, I normally carry my crochet in this little mesh bag because I can see it, and if I need to get in, I just go into it instead of trying to look in there. So it works for me. But also when I crochet, I use some scissors, crochet markers. These are what you call crochet markers. What's my crochet marker? Crochet markers. There's different type of crochet markers. Also, there's people that actually say, for instance, okay, so a crochet marker is, say for instance, you're doing something, you need to know where the beginning or the ending part of a row. So what people probably do is probably cut this maybe a different color so it can be outside of the color that you have. Very simple. And then bring it through. If you don't want to pay for stitch markers. And then, cut it. And then that's how you know that particular stitch, you need to start something else. Or you may see people crochet and they have these little stitch markers, because this is the stopping or the beginning point of a color or a stitch, and they want to make sure. Or sometimes, like for me, sometimes I actually, when I'm doing a row, and it can be just one color sometimes, so I won't mess up. I mean, it's just me, everybody's different, but my little issue that I have when I crochet is knowing where the exact end is. So a lot of times I will have 2 markers, and I'll put it at my first stitch and my second stitch, and I can actually show you that too as well. And that lets me know. I mean, I also count, but sometimes I just don't want to count. So I always make sure there's a stitch marker at the beginning and the end of each row. And yeah, so stitch markers can be used for different things. Also, I use I have a lot of needles. My needles can range from, oh my gosh, I think I have one that's like a, hold on, get this. I have a needle as big as this, and I think I have a bigger one. It's some yarn that I'm working on something else. This is a 10 millimeter, and I actually have it all the way down. Even I believe even smaller than this because I've been jabbed off of it. As small as this one, as you can see it, is this needle, and this one is a 1 millimeter hook, and I believe I have a 0.5 millimeter hook or 0.75 millimeter hook. These are used for those really thin yarn, or you can call it a thread at that point. A lot of times if you're doing lace or some kind of doily, it could be anything like that. Let me see. Something that's small. I don't know if some of you actually seen where I made some baby sneakers. I've actually used it was in the yarn section, but it was thin enough to be thread, and that's what I used to be able to do my crochet stitches. So they all come in different sizes. Also, if you buy yarn, on the yarn packet, it'll put on the recommended needle size. And majority of what I use, this is cotton right now. I believe this one I think this is a sport weight, a 4 millimeter hook. But majority of the ones I normally use, if I'm doing even though I request normally if you request on the label of the yarn when you purchase it, 4 millimeter. When I do adult clothes, I normally use a 5 millimeter hook or above, depending on if I want to increase or decrease. My go-to now for all these stitches here, I did it with this 5 millimeter hook, so you can really see what I'm doing, because if I do it with this one, it's so small. This is my actually go-to a majority of the things I do. It's a 3.75 millimeter hook, and also I may use the 4.5 millimeter hook. These are pretty much the 3 hooks I use depending on what I'm making. Also, I have in my bag these needles, and these has helped to weave in your ends. So you see I have all these ends. So the hole here is really, I don't know if you can see it. The holes here are really big, so you can put the yarn through, and then you weave in your edges. You pretty much sew your edges in. So I also have this little small one. Some people use it for hair, crochet hair, but I actually use it when I'm doing the smaller thread, like for the sneakers, the little small yarn, really teeny yarn, look like thread. I normally use this one. It's easier for me to do that. And you can get your own supplies, things like that. I also have beads in here because I'm actually making a bralette. And it has beads in it. You'll see it eventually on my Instagram and my Facebook. So this is what's in my bag. Now, when I travel, this is in a secured carrying case, because it's, even though we are allowed to put, I think I was on a Facebook group and someone was asking, were we allowed to bring things like this on a plane to travel? And you can bring it. I've been doing this, traveling with this for over a year now, and I've never had an issue going through. I do. I go through KCM, so I get random every now and then. So when I do get random, I have to go through regular TSA. I've never had issues, but I do have. It's not in here right now. It's in my other bag, and that's with me. I have a case that it goes with it, and I put that in there, and I never had any issues bringing my needles, because some people think, can I bring my needles? Can I bring my scissors? Blah, blah, blah. on a plane. Yes, she can. So I bring mine. I crochet, especially on my long flights. I'm actually in Ontario, Ontario, California. I'm the number one to lead on my plane. So yesterday when I was making an announcement, I accidentally said I'm in Ontario. We're heading to Ontario, Canada. It was hilarious. And the only thing I said was, I'm like, everybody was like, what? I was like, well, at least everybody's paying attention. That's what I told everybody. So, but yeah. So I like to crochet on my long flight. Sometimes it's just so much Netflix, so much Hulu, so much talking you can do. Sometimes you just need to unwind and get your mind. And also I love to crochet because it helps, keeps your mind from wandering, thinking too much sometimes, especially on these long flights, keep you awake. But enough of me babbling. I will digress and get back to what this video is about. And I do apologize because I can babble sometimes. Which also I will be, because I travel a lot. This is my second video. I'm actually in the process of getting a drone. I want to start vlogging as well, some of my travel. So I normally do it, but I normally don't post too much, but I figured I'll start posting some things of where I'm going. So that's why it's called Fly Girl Crochet. Also, let me see if I can find it. I received my labels. Hold on, hold please. Hold please. Alright. So let me see which one is which, because I had to get it. I had to. They had to recreate my labels for Fly Girl Crochet. So these are little things, tags I'm gonna put on my. This is the one. Yes, this is the correct one. On my garments. Isn't it cute? Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. I don't know. But it's Fly Girl Crochet. Oh, there you go. Handmade by Fly Girl Crochet with 2 heart with crochet needles going through it. I think it's just the cutest. So that's going to be my tags. Also, some people ask me about the hat, the little cream hat I wear sometime lately. And I'm going to actually be showing how to do that because the stitches right here is all you need to make that hat. And yeah, so let's get to going. So to start I'm going to put these needles away so I don't want to lose them. You can easily lose needles and markers. So I'm going to put this to the side. So we're going to start. Okay, so these stitches. This is the single crochet we're going to do first. This is the half double crochet, and treble crochet. So the difference I feel this between the two is the height. So this is a single crochet, and you'll see when I do the stitch, you get the understanding of how I got the height on each one. This is the half double crochet. You see it's a tad bigger than the first one. It's a tad higher, the height of it. So when you get to the double crochet, as you can see, it's a little bit higher in height. And then also, as you can really tell, this is the double crochet to the treble. Now, keep in mind, treble is pretty much the highest you normally go, but once you get advanced, you can go as high, you can go higher than a treble, to be honest. It's all on what you want to do. Once you learn the basic stitches, you can run wild with it. So, so each one I'm going to do 10 stitches, 2 to 3 rows. So, as the first, let me get this thing correct, see if you can see me. So we're gonna continue on from the first video, and I'm gonna start again with putting the yarn on my hand, and I'm gonna do the slip knot And then I'm going to do 10 chains. 1, 2. Now keep in mind, remember I told you, you go through the triangle, pay attention to the hook that is facing up. Once you grab it, face it down so you can go through it with ease. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now to do the first row of single crochets. Now I just want to tell you, you probably want to see this going all over the place. I actually pulled this out the wrong way. So when you get yarn, it comes actually it's in the middle. You got to figure out which side it's on, but you can either pull it and it'll just easily unravel in the middle. But I didn't do it that way on this one. So I'll probably do it on the next one, so I don't have to keep worrying about unraveling on the outside. So this is 10 rows, but actually I'm going to do one more chain. And the reason why for this one more chain is to do the edge of the first row. So some people consider this the first row. I don't consider this the first row because it's not actually the main stitch of this project. So it's just the foundation chain. Some people also call it the foundation chain. So what we're going to do, so normally when you do a single crochet, you only do one chain because of the height. And that will keep your edges. I didn't do it on these because I tried not to, because I don't want to show you bad habits. But as you notice that my edges are pretty much straight. If you did not do this part, you will have clunky edges. And it's not going to look very pretty. So to keep it pretty and neat, I do one more stitch. And then when I do, okay, so a single crochet, what you want to do, you want to go into the first chain. So remember we did 10 plus 1. So we want to go into the second chain from the hook, 1, 2, which is the 10th one. And you want to go through the loop. Now keep in mind, whenever time you go in or you go out, always make sure your hook is facing down. It's the easiest way to get it, because if you think about it, if you try to go this way, I mean, you can put it through that way, but you're probably going to keep it that way, and then it's going to be, you want to be mindful of how you're doing your hook. So let's do this again. So you want to go in. So this is a single crochet. Make sure it's up. Start going away from your hand. Bring it down, the hook down, and bring it through. You have 2 loops on your hook. Once you do that, you want to go through the triangle again. Grab it, bring it through. That's 1. This is a single crochet. So we're going to do this again. Now keep in mind, we're always working on this part of the chain, not this part of the chain. There's other reasons to start on the back part, but we're not going to go through that right now. We're going to go through the basics. So that's the first one. So we're going to go through it again. We're going to go take the hook face down. We're always going to keep it down unless we're grabbing the yarn. So we're going to face down, go through. Now I always take this third finger, and kind of guide for some reason. I don't know, it's just been what I do. Well, it actually helps with the chain. Just disregard what I said. I wouldn't even think about what I said. So you want to go through the next chain, which is the 9th chain. You want to go in, facing down, go through. Now, I'm going through the triangle, but I'm going mainly through closer down here. So you want to grab it, hook it on, bring it through, readjust to make sure you have one straight line of chains, because it's easier to do it again. And then when I say do it again, I mean go through the hoops. So you want to grab it and go through it again. So I'm going to explain it again, because now this is the 7th and 8th. So what you want to do is you want to go through grab the yarn, bring it through, readjust the row so it makes it easier for you to grab it and bring it right back through. I'm going to do it again. Go through, grab it. Hold on. Okay, there you go. My yarn was tugging. So then we're going to go back through again. I'm going to go back through again. Alright, so you can also unravel this. Now see that it made a little boo-boo here. You can unravel anything you want. You can backtrack. That's one of the reasons why I put the markers on both ends, because sometimes I lose my count, and I always want to make sure that I hit the right chain or stitch for the last part of my row. So this particular yarn, as you can see, you can different yarns does different things. This one right here has about 4 or 5 different threads in it. So if you're not paying attention, sometimes it will snag, and you can easily pull it out. It's not going to do anything. You can pull stuff out as many times you want, and I actually recommend, you may not like it, but I also recommend you pulling things out, making sure it's perfect, because at the end, when everything is said and done, you're going to know that one little mistake is in there, and it's just like anything. You know it's in there, and it's going to eat at you because you didn't fix it when you were working on it. So even if you have to go back to, I've gone back 10 rows to fix something when I realize it later, and it's okay. So rushing is good, but not always when you know your project is perfect. So we're going to do a single crochet again, and a single crochet again. And we're going to go into the next chain. So this is a chain, but we're going to go into the next one. And then the next chain. So you see the chains, you see these little loops here. That's how you know you're in the next chain. And plus you can pull it up and you can see that it's pulled. That's that one in the next loop. And then do it again. Grab it, pull it through 2 loops. And then the last one, you want to go through. Sometimes that last one, because it probably been snugged, it's okay. So you want to go through, pull the yarn through. You have 2 on here, and pull it through 2 loops. So when I finish my row, I always do 1 chain, and it, like I said, it keeps the edges clean, straight. So once I do that, you turn your work around, and we're going to do another row of single crochets. So what you want to do is, see, so I changed here, but I want to go into this first hole. I want to go into this first hole right here. Now, sometimes you may do a pattern, or you may do something you don't need this. Sometimes this 1 chain is considered a stitch, but for the purposes of what I'm doing, it's not considered a stitch. It's just the purpose of keeping the edges clean. So each hole is going to be a stitch. So the first stitch is going to be right in here. That's what I'm going to go through first, because my first chain is here. So we're going to go bring it down through the loop, bring it up, pull 1 through. You have 2 loops, and then also you're going to go through the triangle, bring it through, and that's how you do it. I'm going to do a few, let you see how I do it on a regular. so nice out. It's a little cloudy, but it's, I mean, it's a nice breeze coming through. And I go home tomorrow. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'll be home tomorrow, but we leave tonight. I think it's going to be like a 4.5, 5-hour flight. But it was 6 hours last night. It was out of control. So that's the end of that one. I'm going to do probably 2 more rows. And so I do my 1 chain, and then I'm going to turn. And keep in mind, this is my first chain right here. And I do know that when you still see it here. So I did my first chain. I'm going to go through, let you watch me a few times. I'm going to go through the next one. I'm going to go through 2. Pull 1, go through 2. And a lot of times you may do this if you want a really tight stitch, because you don't want to be able to see through either a garment or anything you're trying to do, because you can see as bigger it get, you may be able to see through it. Also, the bigger it get, it may get more stretchier. Well, it depends on the yarn, but it gets a little bit stretchy. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the end. And also, if you have to pull it out, it's just easy to just pull it out. Even if you have to go to the next row, you just pull out. So it's real easy, you know, just to correct your work. You may have skipped a stitch, or you may have put 2 stitches in one. You don't know. It could be anything. So I'm going to go back to where I was just now on the next row. So when you get to the end, how you know you're getting, because make sure you don't just go into the first stitch. Make sure every time you go into a stitch, you're going to go into the hole, but you're going to go through both of the chains of the, because on the top of every row is going to look like that foundation chain. So when you do it, you want to go through both when you do each stitch. Now, we do have situations where you only go through one, and it's called back loop or front loop, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll go through it. Yep, back loop and front loop, and that gives you a different design, and we'll go through it. And, yeah. So, let me go ahead and let you watch me do some of these. You see, I missed that thread, so I pulled it back out. I chain 1. Go through the first stitch, I should say. Also the single crochet. I'm getting a little tangled here. Where did this come from? Oh, I didn't know where. So I'm gonna stick this in there so I won't get tangled. Maybe when I do the next one. Oh, I'll just leave that in there so I won't get tangled. So when you do a single crochet, if you do a pattern, which I will go through all the pattern codes and symbols, but this is SC. It may seem common sense, but when you get closer to the most advanced stitches, they all have different symbols and abbreviations. So this one is SC for single crochet. And I'm gonna chain 1, turn my work, I'm going to go in the first one, bring it in 2 loops, go through again, and 2 loops, and 2 loops. So I'm not going to keep going because you kind of sort of get the gist of what I'm doing, and that is the single crochet. So now we're going to go to the double crochet. I'm sorry, half double crochet. So I'm just going to pull this on out so I don't have to keep wasting yarn. It's very easy to pull out too. So now we're going to do this one, which is the second one, the half double crochet. So I'm going to go ahead again, chain, do a slip knot, and then chain 10. And then I'm also still going to do one more. So that's 10 chains, and I'm going to do one more to keep the edges clean. So you're going to see that on all of mine. I may increase it as the stitches their height get higher. But that's pretty much, we're going to do an additional chains on the very end. So I did 1 extra chain, so this is 10 plus 1. So this time with a half double crochet, we're actually going to be doing, so this time we're going to actually, so the first time what we did, we went through, grabbed it, had 2 on a loop, and brought it through. So this time, we're going to go through the triangle, grab 1, then go through the loop. So right now you have 2 on your hook, go through, and then bring 1 back through. You have 3 on your loop, go do it again. That's a half double crochet. That's considered 1. We're going to do it again. We're going to grab 1, go through the loop, go through the chain, grab another one, go through the loop. There's 3 on your hook. That's another one. And keep in mind, make sure your chain is not twisted. So you want to go again, back through. There you go. There's 2 on there right now. You're going to bring the other one in to make 3 and get 1 more. Bring it all the way through all 3. So you're going to do it again. You're going to grab 1 over the loop 1. You have 2 on your chain. 2 on your hook. Go through. Grab 1. Now you have 3. Grab 1 more. Put it all on your loop. Okay. Go through again. And then chain 1 at the very end. So we're going to do another row. You chain 1, turn your work, grab 1 on the loop. So you have 2 going in. When you go in, bring it through, you have 3. Grab 1 again and bring it all the way through. So you want to grab it, go through the triangle, grab 1. So now it's 2. Now when I say 2, you have 2 loops on your hook. One is from the previous stitch, and then you bring in 1 from bringing it in. You want to go through the stitch, bring 1 more back through, and there you go. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit slower I know these are a few loops and everything else. So you want to bring it around, bring it inside the top of the stitch, bring it back through. You have 3. And then bring it back through. Do it again. I'm at the last one. So the last one is right here. If you can see it, it's right there. So you want to bring it through. Here you go, bam, and back up. Then you want to chain 1. So this is how you do the half double crochet. Now I didn't expect this to be this long, so I actually have 3 more stitches to go through, but I'm gonna cut this one short and I'm gonna continue it on the next one, so it would definitely be part 2 of these stitches. So I'm gonna get a drink of water and I will return. Thank you. Please subscribe and like, leave any comments, suggestions, advice, anything you want to see. I do have a lot of stitches that I'm going to be doing, and I don't know, to be honest with you, depending on how I feel, I might go to the hot tub for a little bit. But I will have the other one out shortly, and also I need to finish my project so I can post it today. So thanks you so much for joining, and I look forward to everyone being on my next video. Bye-bye.